Ayo Dosunmu. That's all I got to say because this dude came in today off the bench for the Minnesota Timberwolves and won them game 4 against the Denver Nuggets. Dude was insane. 43 points. That's definitely the game we're talking about first because that was crazy. Just finished watching the Nuggets take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And honestly, rough game for the Timberwolves, man. Dante DiVincenzo goes out early, torn Achilles. I hate when announcers say you don't want to speculate. We're all speculating. We're all speculating. Just do it. Just be a normal human like all of us. We're all speculating that it's a torn Achilles. And guess what? It became a torn Achilles. So Shams already reported it pretty much towards the end of the game. Dante DiVincenzo, man, that's just horrible news. Not just obviously for this series, but moving forward if they're, going to advance because he had been playing great in this series. So he's out now with a torn Achilles. Then you got Anthony Edwards. He gets hurt as well. And at least we know there it's a hyperextended knee for sure right off the bat. You could see it plain as day. The announcers did obviously say that that's what that was, but we don't know the results from it. Is there ligament damage? Is he going to be out for a while? Will he be back? So it just seemed like this game was all for Denver to kind of hurry up and close out the series so they can get healthy because they got Aaron Gordon, who's clearly hobbled out there. I mean, plays that Jokic usually lobs it up for him and Aaron Gordon throws it down. He's just catching. He didn't even jump for it. He catches it and then backs away from the basket. Aaron Gordon is not right. He is not 100%, not close. You could see it. But then Ayo Dosunmu comes in, right? This dude, he didn't start this game. He played 42 minutes due to the circumstances and due to the fact that he was lights out, 43 points, 13 for 17 field goal, 5 for 5 from 3, including like a 30-footer that was the night shot of the night pretty much because that put the lights out. 12 for 12 on his free throws. And him and Rudy Gobert won this game for the Timberwolves. And look, I'll try to make this as quickly as possible. Y'all that watch this channel hear me a lot talk about winning players. And Rudy Gobert is one of those guys, and I've said this before. He doesn't get the flash. No one really talks about him being that important because, well, he's not scoring a lot of points, right? Tonight he had 4 points. So everyone's just kind of like, whatever. But I'm just going to tell you right now, if the Wolves had lost Rudy Gobert in the second quarter, instead of that being Anthony Edwards that got hurt, they would have lost this game. Because what Rudy Gobert does, you just can't measure it with points or rebounds. He had 15 rebounds, but he is making Nikola Jokic look pedestrian. And by pedestrian, it's still some hell of numbers for Jokic. But it's the stuff that you can't measure. Again, Jokic goes 24 points, 15 rebounds, 9 assists, but he went 8 for 22 shooting. That is unlike Jokic. Jokic usually shooting like 60%. Okay, so 8 for 22, that's, well below 50% shooting. And it's just about the frustrations, the shots that the Nuggets are getting, the fact that he's, Wemby does this, right? Guys go into the paint and end up missing layups because Wemby's there. And Gobert does that to a lesser extent because he's not as tall as Wemby, but Gobert's so important. So important. He's a crucial piece. He's such a winning player. And of course, so is Anthony Edwards. But if you asked anybody who's more important to the Wolves, I mean, it's not even a question. People would laugh at that question because they'd be like, are you serious? You're going to throw in Gobert and Anthony Edwards in the same question? But the reality is yes, because that's how important these guys are to winning basketball games, not to scoring points and to getting on the highlight reel, but to winning games. And Rudy Gobert does that. So again, I'm not trying to discredit from Ayo Dosunmu here, but Rudy Gobert was almost just as equally important because of the defense that he provides. And again, just altering shots at the rim. This Nuggets team just was not, they shot 38%. Okay. And you could just see it in so many plays. If you watch the game, there's missed layups that are rolling off the rim, and that's because of Rudy Gobert's presence. So, but yeah, Ayo Dosunmu was his night. Wow, what a night. And one thing that did bother me coming out of this is how many people are clowning the Chicago Bulls. And look, I'm going to clown the Bulls too because you waited 2 years too late to trade Nikola Vucevic. Ayo is a guy that you shouldn't have traded because he's still relatively young. So those are not the guys that you're trying to trade. Vucevic is a guy you should trade. Patrick Williams is a guy that if you could get anything for him, you should try to trade because you're paying him already a big salary. And he's this is who he is, right? But Ayo, we've seen progress. But people that are like, oh, the Bulls traded him and blah, blah, blah. Like, where were you 2 weeks ago to bring this up. Just because tonight he went off. Like, don't get me wrong, he went off. But there was like, yeah, sure, February 4th, 2026, the Chicago Bulls traded Ayo Dosunmu and got 4 second-rounders back. What a bad trade. It was a bad trade. But not because of tonight, okay? And that's what bothers me. Like, we live in such an instant gratification in this moment world that we don't think outside the box, okay? Because on February 4th, 2026, no one thought that Ayo Dosunmu was going to put up 43 points and win you a game 4 against the Denver Nuggets. No one thought that, including the Wolves. So again, it was a bad trade for the Bulls because they gave away a young asset that could still be a part of their future core. That was stupid. But to act like they gave up this superstar that no one knew he could become. I'm not saying he's a superstar yet. He's got to do it. They got to still close out the series. But again, incredible night by him. And he's been playing great this whole series. So I'm not taking away from him. He's doing his thing. And honestly, it's a shame Anthony Edwards got hurt because if a healthy Anthony Edwards with Ayo Dosunmu in the backcourt, oh my God, that might be the best backcourt in the NBA if Ayo can be this type of player. So again, I'm just saying, Bones Highland had 20 points tonight too. Guess who traded him? The Nuggets. Okay, and at the time, everyone was saying it was a good trade. So let's not live in the here and now. And at the time, it was a good trade because obviously they were trying to get more veterans to win now and whatnot. That's what people were saying. But let's not act like, everything is measured based on one performance. So let's see. Obviously, if Ayo becomes a superstar like how he showed tonight, well, it might be a terrible, atrocious trade, of course. But again, I'm just saying, if you're gonna criticize it now, you should have been criticizing it back then. Because back then, like I said, I think it was a dumb trade because he's young enough to still have been able to grow into becoming a part of your core into the future. So again, it's one of those things that bothers me when people just react in the moment and just want to clown a franchise or a player sometimes. And it's like, all right, let's take a step back here. So, but ultimately, this series is 3-1. It should have been 2-2 because, again, the Nuggets are up 4 at halftime. No Anthony Edwards, no Dante DiVincenzo. So, sure, the Nuggets didn't have a game plan after that, but neither did the Wolves. You don't think Edwards or Dante DiVincenzo were part of their game plan? So, I don't know what to make of this. It is shocking because, the Nuggets have Nikola Jokic, and you expect a guy like that, along with Jamal Murray, to pull this through and realize how important this game was. I don't even know what to make out of the rest of the series. If you told me the Nuggets came back and 1-7, I'd believe it. But it's not looking good for them. And especially if a guy like Rudy Gobert, like I said, is doing what he's doing with Jokic. Jokic looks frustrated. He looks all out of sorts. At the end of the game, Jaden McDaniels hits this layup that, yes, unwritten rule, you're not supposed to score when you can just hold the ball and dribble the ball out. I don't care. Score. Why? Because if the other team doesn't want that, they should have stopped you. Stay in front of them then. Again, I get it. It's an unwritten rule and it's frustrating. But I don't even know if I like that Jokic went over there and started, this fuss with Jaden McDaniels. Part of me likes it because he's like, all right, maybe this will light a spark in this team and bring the dog out of some guys that are just kind of not really producing. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, they're in your head. You should have just let them score and be like, okay, all right, that's cool. You scored now. That'll be the last time you score in this series. That should be the mentality that I think Jokic should have. Like, you're above that in my mind, You don't need to go over there and shove them and get ejected from the game. And again, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. That just was a weird situation. I've never seen Jokic that frustrated. I'm sure I have, but not in my recent memory like this. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, sure, he scored a basket with a second left. Yeah, you're frustrated. You shouldn't have let them be up by 14 at the time. Okay. So anyway, crazy great game, crazy series. We'll see what, the prognosis is with Edwards moving forward. I really don't think he's playing again in this series. I'd be surprised if he's back even for potential game 7. Like, I just think that's like a 2-week at minimum injury for if it's just a hyperextended knee. We'll see. All right, let's go. Let's backtrack now. The first game of the day, Orlando Magic. Yeah. Play the song because they got it done. 113-105 against the Detroit Pistons. Detroit basketball is not looking good right now. Okay. Cade Cunningham, the dude shows up, but he didn't shoot the ball well today. But you can tell that he's got, that dog in him. He's everything. He's the spark for the Pistons. You know who's not showing up is Jalen Duren. This guy was an all-star. He's looking to get a max contract. 8 points, 9 rebounds. That's it. The 9 rebounds is what bothers me. Okay. Yeah, that's not like a small number, 9 rebounds. But dude, if you're not producing, scoring, you better be like diving on loose balls and giving it extra everywhere else. The Magic just defensively are doing a good job. It is just one of those things that, it's not even that. Look, the Magic, I thought they've had a pretty good defense dating back to last year. Their defense was pretty good. But the Magic putting up 113 points, that's what's kind of shocking to me. And the way they're making it look is not that difficult. Now, I can't tell if it's the Pistons defense being really bad or honestly, maybe the Magic are just healthy and this is the offense they always were supposed to have. Desmond Bane, 25 points, 7 threes tonight. Wendell Carter Jr., another former Bull that they probably shouldn't have traded because he's young. 14 points, 17 rebounds. Even Paulo had 12 rebounds. So that's why I'm looking at Jalen Duren like, what is happening, man? So, and again, there's other factors. Maybe he's, guarding away from the basket. Maybe he's, not, it's other guys being out of position or he has to box out somebody else now or something. But at the same time, like, that's just effort stuff to me. So you got to get going. Desmond Bane had 7 rebounds. So, crucial game 4 for the Pistons because they're the 1 seed. This is already embarrassing. If you beat the Magic in 6 games, I get it. They're like a underrated 8 seed because they had injuries, but you got to send a message if you're Detroit and you're the 1 seed and you want Cade Cunningham in the MVP convo. Well, damn, y'all better get it together. And again, so we'll see. Still, I can't even call them a relatively young team. It's just their main guys are young, like Cade and Jalen Duren and also Thompson. But, Duncan Robinson's a vet. Tobias Harris is a vet. Paul Reed, Javonte Green, Karis LeVert. Like, these guys have played before. So, we'll see. Game 4 is going to be crazy. All right, the other game, OKC at Phoenix. Not much to say there except SGA, this is why he's your MVP, okay? 42, 15 for 18 shooting from the field. Efficient. Say what you want about him and foul baiting, but going 15 for 18, okay, when the attention's on you, J-Dub's not playing, he's injured. The game plan for the Suns is and should be stop SGA, and you do 15 for 18. Props to you. The Suns, again, good story, okay? I said that I predicted that this series would be the sweep of the Western Conference, and that's the way it's shaping up to be because they're just, you're overmatched. It's the defending champions. Dylan Brooks, 33 points, good. Jalen Green, 26. Book had 16 on 6 for 16 shooting. They're guarding Book. They're trying to take him out. So I can't blame the Suns here. Again, they've had a good season, so I'm not going to, pound them too much for that. And with OKC, I think they know they need to get business done so they can get right and get healthy and avoid playing more games so you hopefully avoid injury, which is what the Nuggets should have been doing, but didn't get it done. The other game, that was a good one. So Knicks and Hawks, not a good one in the sense of it was close, but a good one in the sense of this is where you differentiate between the veteran teams that know when it's time to turn it on and when their backs are against the wall and when the pressure is raised, they get the job done. And the Hawks are a young, up-and-coming team. CJ McCollum has done incredible things for that organization just this season and about half a year. But clearly, look, I had the Knicks in 5, and the Hawks surprised everyone going up 2-1 in the series. But, the Knicks, they got to get past this series. I said it before the playoffs started. The team with the most pressure in these playoffs is the New York Knicks because they got to get back to at least the conference finals to even match where they were at last year. And they got vets on the team. They're in a win-now situation. The Hawks are not, and they got to feel good about their year. Even getting Jonathan Kuminga is a plus for them. But, yeah, Brunson, Mikal Bridges showed up for 8 points. We should be happy about that, I guess, even though they traded 4 first-rounders for him and a first-round pick swap also. But Josh Hart, 10 points, 9 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, he's had a great season. 6 for 10 field goals, but 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Great cat game. OG, good for you, OG Anunoby. 22 points, and some of the shots he was making, before he was kind of a standstill shooter and just find him in the corner or something. And now he's starting to get a little more confidence. He can do a little pull-up dribble three. So he looked good today. And, the Knicks, clearly the better team. We'll see. Hey, good learning experience for the Hawks. Can they respond? So we'll see how they do that. Those were all the games today. A good, fun day of basketball. Let's look ahead to tomorrow really fast. Tomorrow we've got the Cleveland Cavaliers at the Toronto Raptors. That's the first game of the day. Cleveland's up 2-1 in the series. Hey, look, Toronto, great job in game 3. It was fun. The fans were on their feet. You guys did your job, got it done. That's awesome. But again, similar to like the Knicks and the Hawks series, this is where the real gets real, right? This is where the veteran teams that are, built to win now, step it up, okay? This is where it's time. So Donovan Mitchell, I'm expecting a huge game from him. James Harden, he doesn't have a great track record of stepping up in the biggest of games, but this ain't the biggest of games. It's a game 4. If they end up losing, it's 2-2. It ain't the end of the world, but the Cavs are winning. The Cavs got to win this game, right? You got to just close it out. You're an older team with some of your star players. Just get it done. Get the series done in 5 games like I predicted, and then rest up for the next round. Avoid playing more games that you don't need to play. Toronto's a young team. I mean, they got Colin Murray-Boyles, their rookie, scoring 22 on the Cavaliers in game 3. If you're the Cavs, enough of that. Scotty Barnes looking like a superstar for Toronto last game. Like, again, Cleveland's got to just go in there, get the job done. They're favored by 3.5 right now. And I honestly, I think that's kind of close. Good story with Toronto. They've had a great year, but Cleveland's got to get it done. The only plus there, I guess, if you're Toronto, is Brandon Ingram has been nowhere to be found. And you still managed to be in a 2-1 series with game 4 at home. So if they can get a Brandon Ingram game, things can get close. And maybe that's what the sports books are thinking here. But again, if you're Cleveland, you got to be a pro here and get it done, right? We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. San Antonio at Portland. Hey, the Spurs are here, okay? Game 3 without Wemby. I thought Portland's going to take the lead, and then Wemby comes back, for game 4, and they even out the series going back, and things are back to normal. But the Spurs got it done, man. Dylan Harper, rookie, going off, right? Stephon Castle, second-year player, going off. So the Spurs are good. And I anticipate Wemby being back for this one, and maybe this is where, Portland gets one last standing ovation at home because they've had a good year. A tough start to the year. Remember the gambling thing with Chauncey Billups, right? So good season for Portland. If they manage to win tomorrow, that'll be surprising. But again, the Spurs are also young. So this is more of a, wild card game, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Portland's going to be playing with everything to try to, avoid getting put to the brink of elimination. And the difference between like a team like Cleveland and San Antonio is that San Antonio is still young. So they don't have this playoff experience that the Cleveland guys have. That's why I expect Cleveland to, be pros about it. And San Antonio, I expect to be pros about it because they're just more talented. But they're a young team. Sometimes you never know. The fans can get them rattled and anything can happen. All right, Boston at Philly. Same thing. I had the Celtics in 5. They're up 2-1. Last game, it was ugly for a while and they got it done. And same thing I expect here. Boston's in Philly, game 4. Look, Philly's fighting, though. They're feisty, but the Celtics are a veteran team. I picked Boston in 5, but to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly even things out. They already lost game 3 at home, so game 4 is even more important for Philly to at least even the series and then try to steal a game again in Boston. So Boston's favored by 7.5. I think that's a little bit high considering that it's a complete must-win for Philly. And they have guys like Tyrese Maxey that, and Andre Drummond, and not that he's going to score a lot of points, but I'm saying guys that understand the game and the magnitude in the moment. And so do the Celtics, but desperation time in Philadelphia. And then the Lakers at the Houston Rockets. Oh, my God. All right, we're going to end with this. But, Lakers are up 3-0. It's pretty remarkable, okay? No Luka, no Austin Reeves. I was thinking maybe they could send the series back 2-2 to LA for game 5 to hope to get Austin Reeves or Luka Doncic back and then maybe split and maybe get it back to game 7. But I think it's a sweep. regardless of whether Reeves plays or not. Luka's not going to play, but LeBron's doing remarkable things. But again, just similar to the AYOOOO Sumo game, I'm not taking away from LeBron. Incredible LeBron game at the end as well. Like LeBron getting it all done. But that's just I don't even want to say just young team. I mean, that's just a foolish team barfing out the win in game 3 with Houston. And yeah, you know what? It is the players. It is Jabari Smith making a bonehead pass when he can just dribble past half court and get fouled. It is Reed Shepherd not passing it to Şengün and doing some little dribble around for a vet like LeBron to get the steal. You could tell, you could see it, and you could see it was like a 5-year-old trying to dribble around Wemby. He was scared, didn't know what he was going to do, and then didn't do the smart thing and ended up turning it over. But I mean, it's just Ime Udoka also. Why Reed Shepherd played all of overtime? Like the guy is out there rattled. Looks like he doesn't belong. I'm not sure who maybe should have been in there, but it shouldn't have been Reed Shepherd. He was getting exposed. He was not ready for the moment. And Ime Udoka said that at the end in the press conference, which I respect because it's the honest truth. Like people don't like that because people say they want accountability until someone else holds you accountable publicly. And then it's like, oh, he threw his players under the bus. No, he held them accountable. I don't care if it's throwing them under the bus. Sorry, that's how it is. Like that was the reality. Is either the moment got too big or just boneheaded mistakes. But then I would be okay with the players also calling out Ime Udoka by pretty much saying, like, why is my teammate Reed Shepherd still in there? Like, obviously no teammate's going to say that because they, probably have full confidence in Reed Shepherd, but that is on Udoka. I mean, you put Reed Shepherd out there, and that's the problem. You don't have a point guard. Obviously this is where Fred VanVleet is missed. So I don't know what to make of it. The line's Houston by 4.5, and I get it. Look, if it was any other team, you would be like, yeah, desperation. The Lakers are in the driver's seat. Houston's going to come out firing. But after Udoka said what he said, and I just feel like the Rockets guys, the chemistry's been off. I just think that the coach, the player, he's calling these guys out. And again, he's a motivator. And that's just, I don't feel like those players are the type to be motivated. A guy like Kobe would be motivated by that, right? If Ime Udoka called out a guy like Kobe, RIP Kobe, and said, yeah, boneheaded mistake. I don't know what he was doing back there. Kobe would be like, all right, coach. Oh, okay. That's what you think? All right. And he'd come back in game 4 and win it by himself. But a guy like Reed Shepherd, a guy like Jabari Smith, kind of quiet guys. I don't feel like they got that dog in them. I just feel like they might just be bitter and they just might be like, I don't want to play for this coach. I don't want to give it my all for him. And I just don't think it's a good match. Like Ime Udoka's coaching style with the players on this roster, I don't think matches up right. Ime Udoka worked with the Celtics because Tatum's a dog. Jaylen Brown is a dog. So it worked there, but I just don't. That's why, Mazzulla is like Ime Udoka, the way I see it. He's going to hold these guys accountable, but they like that. They're winners, right? They're dogs. I don't think Houston has that. So I think it falls apart for them. Even if the game's close at halftime and then the Lakers go on a little mini run in the third, I feel like that's it. It's a wrap. I don't see the dog in these Rockets players, and it's too bad. But and especially if KD's not playing. But even KD, I kind of question the dog in him because I get it. It's an injury, but you played game 2 and you didn't play game 3. And now if you play game 4, then you should have played game 3, right? You should have just sacked it up and gave it your all. If you're a dog, you ain't going down 3-0. So those are my thoughts of the playoffs right now and where everything is at. It's been a fun first round. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Again, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys. I'll definitely keep pumping up some podcasts now that I have a little bit more time. So I will talk to you guys on the next episode. Thanks again. Have a good one.